Can y'all hear me? Hi everyone. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me loud and clear? Okay. Okay, good. Magic Element from wow. Oh, Magic. Yeah, Magic Element from Scotland. Yes, you were here last week. How are you doing? Albert Music. Hi. Ilion, Shalom. Bruce from New York. Hi, how are you? Greetings and what? Felicitation. Wow. Greetings and salutation. All right, Kurt Miller. How are you, Kurt? Can't stay in for more than a few minutes. Oh, cool. Hi, Todd. Morning. Who else is about? Michael. Hi, Michael from North Carolina. How are you guys doing? Michael C. Okay, I hear you. You okay? You alright? Bill Hughes. Yes. How are you, Bill Hughes? Where are you from, Bill? Magic, you just finished work. What do you work as, Magic? It's 4 p.m. Yeah, it's 4 p.m. in Scotland. Is it still cold? Is it still cold in Scotland? Hi, Toddy. Okay, today I have nothing to show you. I was expecting something, or some stuff to arrive here in this afternoon, but didn't make it, so I couldn't have a sneak peek of it. There was some new stuff from Black Star and the new Zoom G6. Yeah, so yeah, it didn't happen today, so I'll probably have to show it to you either on the review itself or next week live stream. Yep. Driving a lorry. Cool. I always wanted to drive a lorry, but I'm just worried that it gets a bit overwhelming for me. Let me see. Have I ever driven a lorry before? No, I have not. I've driven a World War or a Vietnam War era Jeep, which is a left-hand drive because we drive on the right-hand side in Singapore, like in the UK. So I guess I was in the army, so this is a hand-me-down from the Vietnam War, I guess. So it's a Jeep, American Jeep. So it was a left-hand drive. It was easy. I mean, it was interesting. Yeah. I mean, I got to change gear on the right-hand side, which is like really weird for me because, yeah. Oh, Michael, will you follow the Belgian bike races this week, or do you just like to ride? Oh, I watch, but I only watch like certain races. The Belgian races are pretty cool. I used to follow like the usual Tour d'Italia and Tour de France, and even the what's the other one where with the cobblestones. What is that? Where you ride on the cobblestone. What is it called? Oh man, I forgot the title of it. Where they race on the cobblestones in France, I believe. Yeah, and that's pretty interesting. Why? Bike races are so interesting. Ilion. Yes, Michael, that's the thing. But I can't tell you on a sneak peek anyway, so I have to kind of play around with the Zoom G6, to make a fair comparison between that and the NUX. Alright, hold on. Hit the like button. If you guys are here, just hit the like button. Don't really matter if tonight's group is small. Alright, so well, this is the MG30 again. I used it for a couple of events this week. I was at a worship workshop because I was we were involved in facilitating a worship workshop in the church on Tuesday. Yeah, on Tuesday. So Monday I had rehearsals, and then Tuesday was a workshop. And I bought this with my Nick Johnston orange SSS, as well as my N-Year T10, which I also used the Stageman from NUX. If you notice, I've installed some extras for the foot switches. So these are what are these? These are from where did I bought this from? Oh, from Mover. So these are like toppers from Movers, which I bought from AliExpress. Right, so without a topper, it looks like this. Alright, without a topper, with a topper. This makes it a little bit easier to step on, the foot switches. Well, in that case, I had I had a great time with this on the event and the rehearsal. And I had a rehearsal last night in church, in my own church, because I'm in a worship team on this Sunday. So I'm using this with my Nick Johnston on this Sunday. So I had rehearsal last night with this too. And after all these nights of playing with this live, I would like to give you my opinion as to, or rather my take on how it performs. Y'all want to hear it? That's right, Paris Roubaix. Yeah, Paris Roubaix. Paris Roubaix. That's so interesting. Yeah, Elion, I know, I understand. You'd probably be better off watching a football match, which is my thing too. I like soccer matches. So to continue, the foot switches, the expression pedal, I find that it's just too short. The radius is just too short. There's only so much you can do. So there's not a huge sweep where you can regulate your volume or whatever you want to control, because it's like so short. And I find myself not using this a whole lot because a little bit, just a little bit of an action of a sweep, it affects a lot of the volume. So I tend to have it stick onto a position where I'm comfortable with my in-ears, and I just stick to that. Unit, it's quite stable. Yeah, it's quite stable. I'm just kind of like getting used to the fact that this is not a helix. The helix is like so big, and it's chunky and it's heavy, so it doesn't move around, and I feel real secure, and I'm so used to playing with a helix. This takes a little bit of getting used to, right? One thing I gotta tell you, if you're gonna get this unit, you got to be careful about your output, because you may tend to distort if your output is too great. Now the output comes in many stages, because first of all you have the input stages coming into the unit, and then on the individual amp settings, the gain, the master, and then after all that there's a level, so that kind of like control everything. So you can get the tone of playing around with your tone with the gain and the master, but then you have the overall volume of this whole thing. So you have that, and then you have the other part where you can kind of like affect your volume with like the other effects, like the compressors you're using, or even your some of your distortion pedals or whatever. So this does affect the overall volume that's coming out of this unit. Now, depending on what you're using, it might just distort the heck of everything. You could even have your feedback from your delay distorted if you don't set your gain structure correctly. So my advice to you is to get your gain structure set up accordingly, so that watch out for any distortion or any sort. So I had to do a whole lot of effects. A lot of tweaking on the fly on Monday as well as on Tuesday, and I ultimately did it yesterday because I went mono yesterday, and I was hearing distortion on my in-ears, and I had to like do it on the fly, get all my volume squared away. And there is a hidden function where on every patch, if there's a patch, all you need to do is to hit this number 1 button. Just hit it and let go, and it would tell you the overall volume of that particular patch. So you can kind of like cater and adjust accordingly to your 4 patches, you know, and kind of like adjust the volume accordingly, so that one patch might not be too loud, might not be louder than the other patch, so you can kind of get your working volumes together. But this is just overall volume, so you might still get distorted if your gain structure internally within the patch is not set up properly. So yeah, something to look for. And ultimately the ultimate control is the volume knob here, so how loud you want it. Yeah, so if you get a very nice volume somewhere around here, that'll be pretty cool. If you are hearing yourself too loud, then at this juncture, then you're probably very loud, so you're probably hearing some distortion, you know. I don't know what's the setup like, because it's also dependent on the way you play, your dynamics and stuff like that. So for me, I'm hearing that, so I kind of got to tweak down everything, you know, bring down the master, bring down the overall volume, and kind of get it in a situation where I can actually hear all the signal and the effects correctly, clearly, and the tone and everything. It's easy to tone this unit. It's super easy because you have an EQ in there. You have your EQ on your amp, right? Your amp preamp, and then there is also another adjustment with your IR. So within the IRs, if you're importing some IRs from somewhere else, you can kind of like tweak your IRs as to have a low cut filter or a high cut filter. You can just do whatever you need to do on that quick tone, that editor that they provide. So it's pretty easy. Yeah. Question before I continue. Okay. All right, Bill, you're from Pennsylvania. Wow. Hello, Florida bearded woodworker. Baseball and football, not soccer for me in New York. John, was it the wife or band that forced the haircut? Thought it was me, because I had to serve in church, and I don't think those folks in church would look at me too kindly with my long hair and you know. So I thought I'd rather have a haircut. You know, it's been a long time. Yeah. Yes, Pooh, Scooby Van. I finally got this from Amazon. It came in today. Yeah, it came in this afternoon. So I bought this on Amazon. I was so intrigued by that pedal that I reviewed last week. That DCO pedal. Oh, sorry, DVV or VV. Oh, good lord, DVV, whatever video pedal that I reviewed. The I believe it's a tremolo. Is it a tremolo? Yeah, I think it's a tremolo. So I was intrigued with the toy, so I kind of like, heck with it, I'm gonna buy that toy. So I bought it. Alright, so carrying on to this. The other thing to note, let me collect my thoughts first. Where am I? Okay, there is a looper in it. So this happened again. So last night during rehearsal, because I got big. Do I have big feet? No, I don't think I have big feet. Probably big shoes, but you know, when I was like switching patches, I kind of like activated the 2 buttons here together, and guess what? The looper function turned on, and I had a hard time turning it off. I had to do the same thing that I did with my Stageman. I bent down and turned off the power and turned it back on again. So again, I gave a call to Monk from NUX, and yeah, this morning he sent me a new firmware to kind of like deactivate the looper. I seriously wish that they would implement a firmware update where there is a function within the MG30 where I could just turn off the looper on board. That would be so cool, you know. So something that I hope Monk would implement with this unit. So at least if you want to have your looper turned on, you can actually have it turned on with one of the buttons here, like maybe a double tap or something like that, you know, a hidden button to turn this on. or something else, so that you will not accidentally activate the tuner when you're performing. So what I was trying to do is trying to mimic how this function as a live gig pedal board, how it would feel to play this in a live scenario. And to tell you frankly, I was quite impressed with the sound. I thought it sounded pretty good. It took a bit of getting used to because I was playing with a new guitar anyway, so I haven't used the Nick Johnston live yet, and you know how the Nick Johnston is primarily a Strat, so I need to kind of beef it up a bit. So I was like tweaking away, but I managed to get a pretty good sound. The other thing to note is that I'm going to tweak around with this later on after the live stream because there's some adjustments I need to make. With the reverb and the delay right at the end of the signal chain, you have the capability to have it run in series, in serial. So sometimes you'll be hearing like reverb all the way, and that was a sound that I was not accustomed to because I'm always like I'm always like in parallel. Those was in parallel. So I'm always used to like hearing reverb and then to delay. So I would, or rather from delay and then to reverb. So when I'm hearing the first delay, I will not be hearing a whole bunch of reverb going on. So it's a bit cleaner in a way. So I had to kind of like tweak this again so that it doesn't run in parallel. And if I can find a way to do that, which I think I will, because there is a video that Monk came out called the hidden functions of the MG30, which is pretty interesting. So I had the link down on the sneak preview of the review that I'm going to do for this unit. So you guys might just want to check it out if you're interested in this unit, man. Pretty cool. Questions? Any questions? Oh, you guys don't know? No questions? Thank you, Aaron. Where are you from, Aaron? Y'all know what is this? Okay, this is something that I bought from Casey because Casey has a spare unit of this. This is the Blue Turn from iRig. Now what it does is that it kind of like changes the page from on my iPad because I'm using forscore on my iPad. Okay, it's going to show you how my forscore look like on my iPad. So this is how my chart look like. It's too bright. Is it too bright? Is it too bright? Oh, it's too bright. Okay, I'm going to bring down the... Is this better? Yeah. So this is what I see on my iPad. And with the page turner, while I'm playing, I can actually turn the pages without reaching forward and turning the page. So pretty handy if there's a whole lot of reading to do. So I can just switch and I just turn the page. It's pretty nifty. It runs on a AAA size battery. There's an on-off switch, so if you're not using it, you can turn it off. Runs on Bluetooth. Yeah, pretty neat. Oh, Aaron, you're from Malaysia. Cool. Are you still? Yeah, you're on lockdown. Are you in KL or where are you from? Are you in KL? Bruce. Yeah, the M sims are pretty nice. I particularly like the Fender. There's not much. There's not a whole lot of amps to choose from because I think they just want to. Well, then again, there's a pretty collection of amps. They just wanted to concentrate on how authentic the amp sounds. Like the Vox amps are pretty close, the Fenders, and some of the boutique amps are pretty nice. The Marshall GMP, they are pretty close too. I like the speaker simulation for that too. You know, the greenbacks and whatever you have. But then again, I'm predominantly using my own IRs, so I'm using 3 Sigma IRs, and I just want to get to be really familiar so that I'm hearing the same thing as I'm going to be hearing on my Helix, because I'm using the same IRs for my Helix as well as for here. Try to get a uniformity going somewhere. But then again, the amps are totally different. So then again, you got to I have to kind of like tweak it in such a way that I'm comfortable with it. Yeah. But as far as anything goes, like the compressors, the time-based units are pretty pretty basic in a way, but they have their own take. So now they have their own double this delay unit that NUX came out with called Duo Time. They had that, and it's pretty nice. And they have some like shimmering reverb and stuff going on. So not a whole lot, not like the Helix. Helix is like mind-boggling because there's so many effects in the Helix. It's a pretty nice selection, and they are constantly updating the firmware, so they're gonna add more effects as time goes on. So I think that's pretty decent. Kelantan, okay, cool. Any more questions? RMP are okay. Okay. Yeah, the Street Master is really nice. I got myself a new cup. Right, this is like on kind of heavy duty what you call that? A thermal flask in a way, but it's in a cup form. But I gotta be really careful because I bought a new coffee maker too. So when I have my coffee done, when I brewed my coffee, I just pour it in here. So when I screw on this cap, it has to be really tight, or else it will like kind of like burst out. The coffee will burst out like some kind of radioactive material. Okay, so the pressure that build up inside is really enormous, and this is how it looks like. All right, so it's pretty nice, and it keeps the coffee warm. Hi, Nick Johnson. We're just talking about you, or rather, the guitarist named after you. How are you doing, Nick? Are you doing good? Todd, Aaron P, be careful. I had to buy guitars again. Yeah. Every time that you guys feel like, okay, I have enough guitars, turn the YouTube off and watch something else. You know. Where am I gonna put this? So as far as the end year is concerned, the acoustic guitar, it sounded just as good as it did on the live stream concert, and in a church context, it's I let worship with it, so it's really nice, plugged in and everything. So it's easy to get sound with the Stagemaster, and you guys should just get the Stagemaster if you are playing acoustic guitar live. So I had to lug this when I'm doing rehearsal this coming Monday, because I'm doing another live stream concert, and I'll be bringing this again. Yeah, so this is something that I really strongly recommend you to get. It's cheap. I mean, it's affordable. XLR out. So if you're a performing guitarist, acoustic guitar player, who performs with acoustic guitar, this is a great piece of gear to have. Like I know I'm going to repeat myself. It has full band EQ, bass, mid, and highs, and you have a really great preamp section in this unit, and then you have reverb and chorus if you need to. And of course they include the the looper in it. You might want to deactivate that too. If y'all get this unit and y'all need the firmware, just let me know. I'm sure I kept that firmware somewhere, so you can just load up with the firmware and deactivate the looper, and even put in a mute switch, because it just doesn't come with a mute switch. So when you're tuning your guitar, all I need to do is just press this for like a couple of seconds and it's muted, so I can tune my guitar, and then I want it back in, I just press it back in, and I'm back in business. Pretty nice. The DI out is so useful because I don't need an additional DI to run this thing. So yeah. NUX Johnston, pretty good. Packing my things, moving back to the UK from Belgium. I just sat down for coffee and you streaming. Oh, you're moving back to UK. Oh, okay. So, what you doing? What were you doing in Belgium, Nick? Are you working there or? Todd, this is a British NUX Johnston, not an American one, not a Canadian one. The NUX Johnston is Canadian. NUX Johnston is from Canada, so this NUX Johnston is from the UK. Working, designing image sensors. Wow, it's pretty cool. I had someone asking me whether I can show them like certain stuff that you can practice. I'm going to show you later on, but we'll just see how it goes. Yes, I think you need more coffee. Hey Todd, how you doing? Are you doing okay? Wally grew cricket. Oh yes, I hit the spot. I was watching a kind of like a documentary series on Netflix, which is about the samurai in the 15th century, I guess, in the 16th century. Are a heck of an interesting documentary series about how the warring states in Japan went to war, and how they kind of unified the whole of Japan. And right after watching that, I spent a couple hours playing Total War Shogun 2, which was a blast. It's so fun. Hi, Dave. So yeah, Dave was the one who kind of like suggested, that I do some like some exercises or tips or whatever. Elion, how are you doing, Elion, in Israel? Everything good there? Bonjour, bonjour. Ban in the hand. You. Bruce, when I play live, which is my favorite go-to guitar? I have a couple. I usually like to well, lately I've been having maybe an identity crisis of sorts. Back in the days, I used to bring along my EMG guitars, my EMG equipped guitars, which is like my Ernie Balls, Music Man Duke, or my old Japanese contemporary Stratocaster, which is equipped with the Vince Gill EMG set. And then there's the other Richie Sambora made in Mexico Strat, which I had it fitted with the Steve Lukather EMG set. So most of the times I would I would go for that. And then I did a worship concert in Taipei a couple of years back, and I was using the Fender Squier Telecaster with EMGs in it, the hot tally EMGs, and that worked out fine. It was a shock to the rest of the guys in my band because they are so used to me playing a Strat, and when I was playing a Telecaster, they were like, but it turned out well. I really like how it sounded, and I tend to play differently on different guitars. So if I have a Strat with a bar with a tremolo I tend to play differently from a Tele or a Les Paul or any other guitars without a tremolo arm. And lately I've toured with the Comanche, the GNL Comanche, which was a blast because I really loved the guitar a lot. And given the fact that it's not an active a pickup system, it sounded really good. And I also used the GNL Blues Boy, which turned out really good because of the genre of music that was being played. It was like a lot of old stuff, 50s and 60s stuff. We were playing some Beatles stuff and some rock and roll stuff. So it kind of worked because that guitar has that kind of sound to it. And then I've used the Harley Benton Fusion Pro HT. Nice too. I mean, it has a modern sound. Humbuckers, I can still rock out and get away with a lot of stuff. And the next one will be this, because I'm going to feature this. I'm going to play with this on the next live stream concert that I'm having somewhere in the middle of March. So I'm starting rehearsals, and we have quite a lot of rehearsal, in fact, for this live stream. I don't know why, but we're doing like 3 rehearsals. Yeah. So yeah, hope that answers your question. I'm sorry, Timothy, man. I know you were tempted by this. Come on, just take a close look. Yeah, get tempted all the way. Check out the neck. You know what I like about this? This has this part here. I don't know if you can see this. You know, there's like this figure here. This is really cool right here. I didn't notice it until I watched the review again. Wow, that's a pretty cool grain there. I didn't know it was this guitar. Todd, John, is your son into music or playing guitar? Nah, neither. He's into Lego, you know, and doing stop motion. He's trying to learn how to do stop motion videos and stuff like that. He's like I said before, he's autistic, so on the lower spectrum, but yet there is still some learning disability, like, you know, when he was younger. So it takes a while for him to understand certain things, and he get, you know, sometimes he doesn't pay really much attention to what is happening, or when I'm saying something to him, or when his teacher is saying something to him, he doesn't really have that much of a focus. But it's getting better now as he grow up with age. He's 21, just turned 21 a couple of days ago. So no, unfortunately, he has no interest in playing any instruments. Although he can carry a pretty tune, he can sing. I guess it's built into this family. You know, my girls all can sing really well, so I wasn't surprised that he does carry a tune, and yeah, in pitch, and that's something that I really like. Hi, Orion, how are you? Hi, 38. T. Jackson, hey, how are you? Alfonso Saguero, know any cool sites to download good caps impulses response? You should go and visit or ask this question in any of the what you call that Facebook pages or forums where, you know, they have like where they have discussions about IRs, and even like in a Helix forum you can actually kind of post this question there. I don't normally download anything, any IRs. I'll buy them, because yeah, I there's so many of IRs, and I don't have the time to scroll through all the IRs and see what fits. So what I do is that I will buy a generic set of, for example, there's this from Three Sigma. They have this sort of traditional, you know, like a traditional set. Then you have the modern set. So I went for the traditional set because I wanted a good IR for the GMPs, the nice Fender caps and stuff like that. So I bought that set, and I wasn't disappointed. And it wasn't really expensive, but I have a whole lot of IRs to choose from, ranging from Vox to the Fenders, you know, from the Fender Spin Reverb Deluxe all the way to the Bassman and stuff, even to the small, you know, the small amps and all that. And then the Marshalls, you have the Marshalls or the Greenbacks and whatever you have, and that's pretty cool, you know. Aaron P, Top Gourmet, yeah, it's Top Gourmet tonight, right? So what Aaron is trying to say is Top Gourmet means the 15th. So we had Chinese New Year, right? So on the 15th day, I guess, the 15th day of Chinese New Year. Is it 15th day? I don't know. Okay, so today is the last day of Chinese New Year. So before today, you can still give out angpaos. Angpaos are like red packets filled with money. You can still go around to your relatives and pay them a visit and wish them a happy Chinese New Year. But today marks the last day of it. So after tonight, it's over, right? It's just after 12 right now. So yeah, so no more Chinese New Year. And we like to go down to our relatives' houses and visit them, and, you know, bring them mandarins, oranges and stuff like that. Mandarins are like literally oranges, but in a smaller form, sweeter. And with angpao meaning a red packet with money, you know, so just to pay our respects. So I was contemplating of bringing this to to my mom-in-law house and said, "Hey, hey, mommy, happy Chinese New Year." I was just afraid that she would just take this and not give it back. So bad idea. Hi, David. How are you doing? Oh, cool, David. Shikim Iyam. Hi. How can I improve my guitar playing? Either you practice a lot or get a guitar teacher. A guitar teacher would be really useful. Hi, Bear. Okay, so today, just something to show you so that you can kind of like get around to practicing, okay, certain things. Orange, red, and yellow. What's that? Orange, red, and yellow. The traffic light. Traffic light, huh? Like I was saying, I'm going to show you some stuff that you can kind of start playing a bit. If you can kind of catch up with what I'm going to show you, it'd be great. So I'm going to use another camera if I can. I don't know where I can. A video capture device. Okay, let's see what I can do here. Give me a second. Yeah, okay, I can do that. So can you see the fretboard? Can you see the fretboard? But then it's so far away from you guys. I need something to prop this up. Yeah, is that better? Right. A new Tone King amp. My God. Yeah, that's a great amp. Right. So I'm just going to show you something where I normally do when I pick up any guitar, electric guitar, with a tremolo arm or without a tremolo arm, it doesn't matter. So once I dial in a tone that I like with a nice reverb. So this is going to be in the key of E. Right. So I try to start up here on what is this? This is on a 9th fret, where you have this chord shape, a chord shape in the key of E. So this is actually an E chord. Right. So this chord shape is something that I spoke about in one of my videos, so you might just want to take a look at it. And you can actually do a whole lot of stuff just on this chord shape. Alright? So I could do with my pick or without my pick. So if you're going to do without your pick, so it's basically just fingers, you can just do a lot of stuff here if you kind of like know your way around, and you can hit or pick 2 strings at one time. So in this case, I'm hitting the D string, right, on the B note, and then on the 2nd string, the B string, on the A flat or G sharp note. So I can just do same, still remaining that same shape. I can just do. And then I will just do a. So this is like a D shape. This is in the key of A, so this is actually an A chord. So I'm just doing. So E, A. kind of like lift, bring this up, this whole D shape up to a B chord, right? A, B. So bring up the same shape up. You got that? What's this? Hi Maria. Hi Scooter, how are you doing, buddy? All good? Send my best to her. Why is this level so low? Oh, come on, give me a break. Why is it so low? Hang on guys, let me bring the master out a bit. There you go. Okay, so there's a lag in the memory system. I'm running out of memory. So I hope you guys got that. Okay, that's fine. So this is what I do when I'm sitting down with electric guitar. So I'll just noodle in E, because E is really simple because you have that E bass note droning on, so you can do a lot. got the right effects, and if you can manage to, like, put in some delay, that'll be really great, because you can have even more notes hanging around, and if you want to go for the sort of a what you call that, the ambience thing going on, you can choose a sort of reverb that would suit, like I think I have this, if not mistaken, right, but this is a bit much. Let me cut that a mix a bit. So this wasn't the right patch. I actually created a patch for this this particular guitar. This is how it should sound like. It's a whole lot of difference, right? Because knowing that this guitar is like a traditional Strat, it sounds a bit thin. So this patch is meant to kind of like boost up the mid. So it gets a bit loud. So I just released a video, like literally like half an hour before I started the stream, and that was for the Headway guitar, which I kind of showed to you guys last week. So yeah, just check it out, because it's a real good guitar to have, nice acoustic guitar, and it's not expensive. It's really affordable. Right, so Scooter, what happened to you? You had to trade your Les Paul. Oh, too heavy? I'll figure. Dave Lewis, hey Jonathan, how's your band been doing over there? The band, well, most of us have kind of like certain things going on in the sideline. Jimmy has his school, so he's got a school to run, a drum school. And I have my production work and stuff like that going on. And then our keyboard player, like Anthony now is like kind of like taking a side course, or yeah, a course, a couple of lessons. Well, a lot of lessons, not a couple of lessons. He's taking a course on how to bake cakes and stuff like that. So he's enjoying himself. And Joel is working in the music and drummer section of the Singapore Armed Forces, so he has a full-time job going. Casey teaches bass, many places in schools and stuff like that, and yeah, and he's doing really well because he's got a lot of classes to do. Sebastian is the most busy of all. He has gigs, other live streams, and he teaches at the same time, and he provides. He does a business where he provides bands for the hotels. He's an enterprising fella, on top of being a killer guitarist. So a lot of us have a lot of side things to do, so it's not that bad. I guess in Singapore we have to kind of diversify ourselves. Gone are days where if you're a musician, you're just a musician and you just wait around for gigs to come, which can be really depressing, given the present situation where there's no clubs opening and yep. So in Singapore, we have a couple of musicians who are at a loss as to what to do because they're so used to having steady income from the gigs that they're doing, and out of nowhere this pandemic happened. Clubs are closed, and you know what? I'm thinking like after this pandemic, when it does get blown away, when it does finish, there'll be a whole lot of musicians who might not be musicians anymore because they probably moved on to some other careers and some other work scope. Yeah, and that's sad because we have a couple of really great musicians locally. Maybe sad to lose them. Scooter, I got a Korean made PRS SE single cut root beer. Okay, I saw that. Yeah, with a Seymour Duncan. Okay, yeah, that'll be light. That'll be light. It's not gonna be as heavy as the Les Paul. But dude, it's a Les Paul. What year was that, Scooter? What year is your Les Paul? Is it the new ones or one of the old ones? £7. Yeah, I figure. Oh, okay. So it's a 2020 Les Paul. Okay. No love lost. Or it's an Epiphone. Okay. It's a Les Paul Classic. Yeah, great choice. I have a Les Paul Classic at the back. The original one. It's nice. Had it fitted with Wayne's pickup, so it sounded really good now. It's too bad that I don't get to play it as much as I hope I can, Shame on me. Yeah, I'll blame it on me. Maria, I once knew a girl named Maria. Do you sing that to your wife, Scooter? Why don't I like PRS guitars? Couple of reasons. Some of them are really personal, but I'm not gonna go there. I've always been someone who doesn't believe in hype. I don't believe in someone pushing their products in a way that intrudes into one's musical understanding of how music should be. Sometimes advertisements can go only that far, and the rest is just pushing it a bit too much. So that's about the company. But other than that, the guitars themselves, I don't really don't really enjoy playing it because for me it's a pretty guitar. with a different scale length. It's, that's about it. And in terms of sound, I could get what I want from any other guitars. Basically. So sometimes I like, for my Harley Benton, I enjoy playing on my Harley Benton HHT than most of the PRS guitars that I've reviewed so far. I'm sorry to say that, but for you guys who love PRS guitars, I can understand the attraction to PRS guitars. I can understand that, but for me personally, I am not taken with them. I'm not taken by them. I don't have any. Yeah, you know what I mean. So Fender has been around for like decades, right? But I fell in love with my first Fender Strat way back then, and I always loved the way the Fender form is, and I guess, yeah, that's something that I grew up with. PRS is like, for me, is like a bastard child, like, it's like trying to be something that someone is somewhere. It's trying to be a Les Paul, it's trying to be a Fender, it's trying to be a Strat, it's trying to be a whole lot of stuff. With really nice appointments, right? Really nice workmanship in woods and in tone woods and stuff like that. But it's not the same as the original Strat. It's not the same as original Telecaster. It's not the same as a true blue Gibson Les Paul. So yeah, that's my take. Hey, David, thank you for the coffee. Thank you, man. Are Seymour Duncan's P90 pickups better than stock Epiphones? I think so. I always love Seymour Duncan pickups, and I heard a couple of their Seymour Duncan's P90s, and they sounded pretty nice. Joe the Lion. Hi. No, I've not tried a Hit Rush pedal board yet. No, I haven't. I have no chance to try one. I have a Factal, I think it's not a Factal. Is it a Factal? Yeah, it's an AXS pedal board, which I haven't tried out yet because I was so busy. So hopefully next week I can get some time to play a bit and do a review. This is the latest AXS, yeah. So we'll see what happens. What scales are PRS? I don't know. You can do a Google search, or anybody here who has a PRS guitar might help you. Right, so Bruce, I have a PRS SE Custom 22 hollow body. Sometimes I like it more than my PRS Core P22. Okay, now going back to this, this is one guitar that I actually quite like. This is semi-hollow, the PRS Custom 22. So yeah, so somehow, yeah, I kind of like the sound that this guitar has. Apart from the rest, my biggest disappointment with PRS was the John Mayer thingy that he has, which is, for me, is like, no, that just doesn't cut it. You know which one I'm talking about, right? But hey, man, I can't knock him because he's making money out of that. So you sold your David, you saw your Gibson 335. It was okay, new, but didn't have the feel. I like my Gibson 336 Custom Gold Top so much better. Cool. Yeah, all these guitars that we buy, whether you are buying a Les Paul or PRS, if it's not, you don't feel good with it, you don't feel good with it, no matter what. You can do a whole lot of stuff with it, put a lot of mod in it, hoping to create some kind of mojo, some kind of a spark. If it's not there, it's not there. You can't start with anything. Yeah, Gibsons are expensive, but PRS are like, really expensive. So are Sirs. I don't like Sirs too, because it's not that I don't like Sirs. Okay, it's not that I don't like Sirs. I think I will like Sirs because Sirs are predominantly, they're like Fender Strats. The Strat models are basically Strats. With, like I said, better appointments, better workmanship, nicer pickups. But they are so expensive. Yeah. Timbuktu. God bless you too, sir. Chicken. That's what I'm trying to say. This is the Silver Sky that I'm talking about. The one from Germany. I was so disappointed in that guitar. Brian K. I believe PRS scale is generally 25, and so in between Gibson and Fender. Yeah. It makes them easy to play, but I just don't dig it. I prefer my G&Ls. You should ask a question like, what about G&L and Fender? Which one would I prefer? Right? The fact of the matter is like, with the pickups that G&L has, I would lean towards the G&L because I like the Fullerton Deluxe models because they are really really nicely built guitars. They are really easy to play, and they look good in the eye. And the pickups, the MFD pickups are, it's always been a favorite of mine. Bear, have you used a Strymon Mobius? No, not yet. To tell you the truth, I'm not really. I think I stated this many times. I'm not really a pedal board enthusiast, because I don't play a lot with pedal boards. I have multi effects, so I've always been a stickler to the Line 6 stuff all this time. So for me, to have this channel is like a journey for me because I'm learning new stuff. So I was hoping that you guys, some of you guys can learn with me, and some of you guys might teach me. So that's the journey that I have for the past 2 years. So I've been playing around with a whole lot of pedals, which I never had done before. So it's a good education for me to know that certain pedals are just worth getting. Like for me right now, the thing that is on my mind is the right now currently is the stack, Calais 76 stack from what Origin Effects. And that is something that that's hanging around in the back of my head. Like there's this faint echo going, "Get me, buy me, put it on my desk, put it on your desk, buy me." So it's somewhere lingering around. So I'm just trying to get past that. But that pedal sounds really good. Sounds really good. Dave also have a PRS Mark Holcomb with Alpha and Omega. Well, pickups, chord tap. Okay. Scooter, I find I'm liking Indonesian and Korean made guitars. Yeah. Well, the fact of the matter is that Indonesian, China, and Korean made guitars have improved tremendously over the past few years. Leaps and bounds. And I've seen some of the China made guitars. My Annier T10 is China made. And that guitar, lovely workmanship. I can find no flaw in it. I saw a picture of which guitar was that? But I saw Sire guitar. I think Sire. I don't know where Sire was made from. Either from Korea or from China. But there was one picture that I saw of a Sire guitar, a 335 clone, and it was bad. I could actually see like scuff marks along the neck, a couple of stuff. So you win some, you lose some, but most of the China companies these days, they are really tough on QC. They're really emphasizing a lot on quality control. So I can see like a whole lot of improvement over the years, And Indonesian, same thing. The guitars are so perfect. Like this Johnson is Indonesian made. I can find no flaw at all, unless I made them myself, like dropping this or scratching this with a pick or anything. It's practically flawless. Everything is like perfect, and that's something that I was so impressed with. It's like, dude, like even I'm looking at this right now up close. Even the nut is filed really nicely. There's no rough edges, not like what you used to experience like 2 years ago or a year and a half or 2 years ago. With some of the Harley Bentons, they were like, ooh, really badly made. Right? This Harley Benton that I have, even though this was the first batch, It was really nice, you know. And sadly, they discontinue it because I don't see it happening. I don't see it appearing in the Thomas website anymore. Joe the Lion, Jonathan, I watched your Vegatron video. I would like to do the same to my Strat. I don't have much experience working on guitars. Do you have any advice for me to do the upgrade myself? Watch the video, man. Yeah, you can watch my video. I have 3 videos on Vegatron, so that's more than enough. And then you have the videos that is from Vegatron themselves. So a great installation video teaching you step by step on what to do. It's basically simple, and it's you don't have to worry about it. You know, there's no drastic drilling or stuff like that. So even if you kind of like screw it up, you know, it's okay. You can always go back again. Just be patient and not rush it. You know, and just watch the video properly, and then kind of figure everything out. If you're ordering the Vegatron, make sure that you tell Vegatron what sort of a pivot that you have on your tremolo system. So is it a two screw or a 6 screw, the traditional 6 screw on your Fender? Is it a traditional 6 screw or a 2 screw? So if it's 2 screw, then just let them know, okay, I need a 2-point tremolo arm or tremolo system, or you want a traditional 6. So you got to tell them when you're ordering. Or where are we now? Well, not only that, Timothy, they're not only the Silver Sky are not only like expensive, but they're just so. You know, I you know. Anyway, I don't want to go there again. Dave T, best new toy is by Harley Benton SC Junior with single P. Yeah, that's great, nice. Yeah. Esther, how are you, Esther? You sleep late, huh, Esther? Chill. Belated happy birthday. Esther just passed her birthday, I think about, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday was her birthday. So guys, just wish Esther happy birthday, since you are here. 26 of us. That's a pretty good size birthday party. David asking, good guitar market was able to break even on the sale. I had to do as shipping has gone way up. Yeah, that's true. Phil Holmes, really enjoying your videos, Jonathan. Keep up the good work from Switzerland. Hi, Phil. Okay. Bear, which Far Eastern Asian guitar is your favorite as of now? Well, I have 2. This and the Harley Benton Fusion Pro HHT. No. Brian Key, I'm thinking of getting a Boss Katana 50 watts. I'm thinking that I can also plug my port go into the power amp section so I can use it like a FR. If you're gonna do that, why don't you just get an FR speaker? Yeah, in fact, get both. Get 2 FR so we can go stereo. Right? If you're gonna use your port go as a predominantly main, effects, yeah. Why don't you just do that? Unless you have like other usage for the Katana, as a practice amp, so you don't have to plug in your port go every time. Okay, then that's understandable. But if you're gonna use it like to practice at home or to gig, why don't you just get a stereo setup? I would, knowing what I know now, right? Timbuktu, my last guitar purchase was the Epiphone Les Paul Special. Okay. Nith Gopalan. Hi Jonathan. GNL S50 tributes versus Fender Player Strat. Which is better in terms of tone, playability, etc. I get questions like this all the time. Comparing this to the other, it's very hard for me to kind of tell you, because sometimes I don't get to play the guitar that you're mentioning, the Player Strat. Which Player Strat? So many models of Player Strat, so I can't possibly give you a honest account of what I think, because And I get guys asking me, how do I compare this to another brand which I never played before, and I'm at a loss. So sometimes I just stop answering this question. So don't think that I'm rude. It's just I don't know how to answer the questions, and sometimes I just say no, I don't know, you know. Or I just started this channel, you know. So there's a whole lot of stuff I haven't played before. Like I said before, you know, I'm on a journey just like you. I'm learning just like you guys. So there are many things that I have not played on, right? So in answer to your question, sorry, Gopalan, I can't tell you. Yeah, all I can tell you is the GNL S500 tributes are really nice guitars at an affordable price. But if you're looking for a real good guitar from GNL, get the Fullerton Deluxe. You know, it costs a bit more. Yeah, almost twice. Yeah, maybe more than twice. Yeah, but it's worth having it. All right. So Esther answered my question. Answer your question, Scooter. Okay. Cool. What's this? Bear. Jonathan, the peace of God is very evident in your life. Thank you for sharing. Oh, my pleasure. Mr. Ronnie O'Rourke. I have a cheap amp I like to rest my feet on. See? This is what they call the privilege feel. Where you can hang your leg on an amp. Thank you, Esther, for the coffee. Thank you. Bruce, okay, it's for Dave. Got to run. All right, David, you take care, David. Babysitting for your grandchild, I'm presume. Your grandchild? Your party cake. Yazid Rahman. Hi, Sir Joe. Who's Sir Joe? John. My name is John. Yeah. Your video, music, and tone very inspiring me in learning the instruments. Can you recommend desktop practice and between katana? There you go, another one here. So I can't tell you because I haven't tried a katana. You know, guys, I get questions like this all the time. So I have not tried a katana, which I stated many times in this live stream. I would not know which is better. All right. So my question or my answer is I do not know. I do not know, Mr. Rahman. I do not know, Yazid. Yeah. Aaron P. Which acoustic guitar do you use at home, recording and live show? I have a couple of acoustic guitars at home. I have a Taylor 5 series. I have a, which is an old guitar. And I have the Martin D35. I have right now I have the N year. I have also a Taylor. What is that? Mini. It's not a mini Taylor. What is it? It's not. What is it called? Not a baby Taylor. What's the other one? GS Mini. Yeah, I have a Taylor GS Mini. So the history of it is that the 510, the Taylor 510 has been with me for like close to 25 years. All right, Timbuktu, you take care. And I've close to 30 years actually, and I use it on many countless of recordings. So that was my go-to session guitar, session acoustic guitar, and it served me well all these years. And then I did not use it for any live gigs because it was just too precious to me to have it taken down the road. So I got myself a Godin. In fact, I have two Godins, electric. Sorry, they're both electric. I mean, they're acoustic electric. So nice guitars. I have the nylon and the steel, and they serve me really well because I had to take them on the road many times. and they perform flawlessly without any preamps or anything like that, because he has built-in EQs and preamp itself, and there's a mic there somewhere, so it's a mixture of a microphone and a piezo. And that lasted me for many years. I did a whole lot of shows with that. Even as recently as 2014, where I was still performing with the nylon Godin. Then I decided to do something else, so I purchased a Taylor GS Mini, which I had it fitted with a Arabex. What's the other one called? Not the Anthem, the other one. I forgot the model. So I had it fitted with that, and it served me really well also for many years. So I had it with me when I was touring all over the world. Even on the last trip, which was last year when I was in Atlantic City and Reno, I was using my GS Mini. Right, it was great. And then about then I decided to change to a T10, a NER T10 OM, which I recently procured, and I used it for a couple of live streaming shows, which I thoroughly enjoy. I think it fared better. It sounded better than the GS Mini ever did. In fact, it performed better than GS Mini and the Godin ever did. So yeah, I'm gonna take that guitar on tour. So it comes with the white case. So I'm a bit hesitant to bring it out on the road, because the white case is really nice. So it's not gonna be white anymore. Yeah. So that's my history. Right, Bear, you were in Singapore many years ago. Yeah, it's my home. Yeah, I'm glad you like it. Fooless, I finally made it. John, yes. Can you talk about how a new guitarist can start learning the style of music you play, or what artist songs I can learn to improve? You can start by listening to a whole lot of albums. I was listening to that interview. I was watching an interview with Steve Lukather, with the other guy. What's his name? You know who I'm talking about, right? Lordy. Wait. Hold on. My computer just ran out of memory. Just hold on. So my duet stopped working. So hold on. Okay. So what was I talking about? Hold on. Subscription. Yeah. So I saw the interview. Who is it? Yeah, Rick Beato. Thank you, Arian. You're a good lad. Yeah, so the interview with Steve Lukather by Rick Beato, and he was saying something about guitars these days. How there's not much of a guitar parts these days. You don't hear guitars in most of the recordings or the songs these days, and there's a whole lot of reason behind it, and how he was talking about this songwriting process these days from guys like Justin Bieber or whoever, where you have a bunch of guys, and there's no more a sort of a singular or maybe a two partnership in writing songs. Now you have a team of writing songs, so everything is like going corporate. And how the record companies is doing all this to milk every single cent from the artists and from the songs itself, and that's why every song sound almost the same. There's no more soul in the music that you hear these days. I don't want to say this, because I believe there are a whole lot of good musicians out there. It's just that they've been capitalized by the record companies and whatever, the management companies. So it's a sad state of affair, and it's all about greed. It's all about money. Even when it comes down to YouTube, when Rick Beato has turned out so many videos about teaching uh, young musicians on how to play certain things, and he cannot do that because it's been taken down because of copyright strike, which is totally ridiculous. The logic behind it is totally wrong, right? You are introducing this music to young musicians, and you're gonna take down that video because of a copyright strike and because you can earn and milk a couple of cents, a couple of dollars from that video. Come on, get a life. These guys are all greedy bastards. So the mindset is all wrong. Something has to change. Nevertheless, my advice to you is to go out and source out music from the 80s all the way to the 90s, maybe to the mid 2000s. A whole lot of bands out there. I can think of many bands. Great bands. So you can source out guitar sessionists, like per se. Like I used to do that. I used to stalk, or in a way stalk Steve Lukather, because I would buy every single album he played a session for, even though it was just one song, right? And most of the time, the projects that he's involved with have very good production value. So it's a great way for me to know about other guitarists like Richie Zito, for example. In case you all never know who is Richie Zito, Richie Zito is a great session guitarist too in his own right. Or guys like Michael Landau, Dan Huff, and that's where I get to kind of hear all these great players, and what you hear is like, the saying goes, you are what you eat. So you are what you hear. So if you start hearing a lot of this stuff, and it's going to make an impact on you subconsciously. And that's the one way to start, right? And the other way, of course, is to kind of like figure out what these guys are playing, what these cats are playing, and copying, wholesale whatever they're playing. And there's no shame in it. There's nothing wrong in that. So something to think about, right? Everybody copies from everybody. So even the greats copy from someone else. So it's not a problem. You can copy a lick, copy a solo. I used to learn by heart Hotel California. And during the whole process of learning, I've learned so many licks from there, which I utilize to this day. Some of the chromatic licks that you'll find in Hotel California is played by Joe Walsh. I still employ them to this day in different contexts, right? So there's no shame in doing that, right? Hope that helps you. Phil, have you tried a Chevelle DK24? No, I have not tried. Sorry. Esther C. John, would you have any recommendation for IEM? I think I broke my... Oh, okay. The West Tones are really expensive. You know what? Go to AliExpress. Okay, these are the KZ. Is it the other way around? Okay. Can you see this? Alright, so these are the KZ. This is a KZ10. There are other models around, so ranging from price to price, So right now I'm using a higher model than this. I think it's a KZ50 or something like that. And they're pretty cheap, They're not as expensive as West Tone. So some might run as far as 120 or 130, those really high-end ones, Singapore dollars. So yeah, you might want to look at that, Esther. AliExpress, KZ, okay? I have a Katana, okay, it's a great amp, but people need to understand it's not a modern amp, it's really just a multi-channel amp, not designed to, okay. So sweet. That's sweet of you, Esther, telling Bear, how is it like in Singapore? Dave T, good question, group question. Do you think guitar will go the way of the banjo? Banjo was very popular in the 1990s, in the 1900s. I don't see many young players. Most youth do electronic instruments. I was in Singapore in the early 80s. Wow. Bear, John, have you ever? What? My scooter, yes, greed. Yes, greed. But I learned to whisper. Okay, Bear, have you ever heard of a band named the 77s? No. Great guitar band. The album Stick and Stone is very good. Check them out one day. Yeah, I will. The 77s, huh? My Scooter, Lovers of Self. Yeah. Brian K. Thanks for your input concerning the Boss Cantana, as I thought quite a bit of gear needed amp that would meet multiple needs. Most bang for buck. Gear in Canada is expensive. I'll bet. Mike Dolls? Yeah, I heard of Mike Dolls. The name Mike Dolls, but I haven't heard his music. Okay. Alright, Scooter. Esther Bear, you can check out Singapore website. Okay. British string banjo player. No, I don't think that guitar will go down the road as the same as the banjo. Yeah. I think guitar is, well, when talking about a guitar, there's so many sub-genres of guitars. Like you have acoustic guitar, you have flamenco, you have bluegrass, you got country picking, you got electric guitars, you got metal, you got degen. So yeah, no, I don't think it's gonna go. Yeah. Yes, I have the case at 10. Found that soundscape rather V-shaped and the fitting didn't suit me. Tried the TMB and it's not bad. Oh, okay. Hey, thank you, Joe. Thank you for the coffee. Full-X, what's your... Thank you, John. I'm only a few months in, so I have no idea about session guitars. Your music in your intros and reviews really speak to me. Thank you. Yeah, but just if you ask me, like, how can you start? You can start by listening. And then if you have access to good guitar teachers, then there's one way to go. Learn about chords first. You got to start somewhere. So learn about chords and learn theory, basic theory, and you need motivation. All of us do. Back then, it was the love of music that motivated me. It wasn't anything. I had no inspiration of any sorts. I have no aspiration to become a rock and roll player of any sorts. I just love music. It was just purely the love. I guess a lot of us started that way because we just love to play, and we love to play a certain song. So we learned it, and nailed it down. Even when I was in a band, we were playing some of the stuff by, all this, in the in the late 70s, Deep Purple and Rainbow and Bad Company, Led Zeppelin, and stuff like that. We were trying to play songs by them. They were basically easy because they are mostly riff orientated. But when it comes to songs by Brett, where there are a lot of intricate chords happening, and then you will like, it is too much of a bother, so we skip. And we're not going to play all these songs because we don't understand the chords. We kind of like label as wimpy, like they're love songs and they're sweet songs. They don't have the edge, it doesn't have the rock edge. Nah, this is like pantsy stuff. We're gonna go for the hard rock stuff like Wishing Well by Free, easy to play riffs. It's a cop out. But back in my mind, back in my heart, I love Brett. I love all this soft music that I'm hearing from Barry Manilow, for example, right? And Elton John. I love the chords. I love the chord formation, even though I know nothing about this, which I got to know later on. But hearing all these wonderful chords and orchestration, it just creates something in me. It just hits something in me that, dude, this is music. So we change from year by year. I used to hate drinking soup. We Chinese like to drink a whole lot of soup. Whatever soup you have, chicken soup, duck soup, turtle soup. I used to hate drinking soup when I was young, but now I love soup. I used to hate vegetables. Like my mom would like kind of force me to eat like I don't know, stuff like cabbage and whatever you have, when Chinese cook vegetables. But now I love vegetables, certain vegetables, So we our taste will change according to our age. As we grow older, year by year, we get different perspective. We have different inspiration. We have different understanding of situations around us. So, music is the same thing. So, I kind of like, you know, I want to learn about chords. I want to learn about what makes this song tick. And sometimes it's just a matter of you sitting down with your guitar and kind of like try certain things out. Like what I just showed you just now. Like you need to sit yourself down and try to fool around with what you are doing and try to get a melodic sense of what you're doing. And it's one way to start. So I hope that helps. Phil Holmes, if you would recommend one single thing to make a guitar player progress, what would it be? Instead of answering the question on my show, I would like to tell you what happened to me. It's very recent. We're talking about a couple of years back. This was when I was in a tour. I was on a tour, a big tour. It lasted 2 years, and I came back from the tour a bit dejected because there's certain things in my life that I thought was happening, but it didn't happen because I thought I was going full-time ministry, So it didn't work out that way. God had other plans for me, and that was at a time when I was stuck in the middle of a crossroad, not knowing where should I turn. But God has always been really good to me, so He kind of provided for me in the meantime. Musically, I was at a loss because I spent so many years playing what I'm doing. So I decided to change, to do something about it. So I bought myself a looper. Best investment I ever made. It's here. Somewhere here. I bought myself this. Right, so this is the TC Electronics looper, which cost me like $100, maybe less than that. So I held it the other way around. Right. So I bought this, and I also bought the amp, which is this Langley VC15 used. Set it up here with my looper, with my guitar, and just play without all the gears, without my pedal board, without anything. I just plug in my guitar with a looper, play a couple of chord progression, and just play. And I would spend hours doing that here, right in this room, before all this YouTube thing. And I would spend hours just playing and making music, have no chance to record all this stuff that I was doing. But it wasn't about to record, it was about me noodling, playing mistakes and stuff like that, learning new stuff, getting the hang of understanding the various modes, and trying to incorporate them into a melodic sense so that I know what I'm playing, but at the same time I don't want the knowledge of knowing what I'm playing to interfere with the process of making a melody or playing something melodically. Hope you understand that. It's a bit confusing, right? But again, it's not, right? So it's about learning what you can, in theory, whatever modes or whatever scale that you're learning. But then when it comes to the time of execution, you already have that knowledge, but you're not going to let that knowledge interfere your phrasing, the way you phrase that, the solos or whatever you're doing. And so in my play, you can actually hear, if you sit down and you hear, there are a whole lot of modes going on. Predominantly Dorian, and sometimes I'll use a touch of Lydian if I want to, and Mixolydian. So there's a whole lot of these mode aspects in whatever I'm doing, and there's chromatism, a whole lot of chromatism. So yeah, so I spent almost about a year or two just doing that, and I found that okay, I'm getting new vocabulary in, and getting new languages in. Like, I wasn't interested in the Italian language at all until I went to Italy, and I just fell in love with the language. So, bella, it's all tutto bene, bella. So I love it, and I took on that language. But I'm still far from learning Italian. I'm really bad at that. So scusi, scusi, so slowly, piano, piano. So same thing. So likewise, this is the same thing that happens on guitar. So I'm learning all these things and I'm trying to apply them, and then the YouTube channel happened, which is by grace. It's just something that God preordained, I guess. So I haven't stopped playing, and I've been playing almost every day on the guitar, either an acoustic or electric. I'm playing every day, and I'm applying all these things that I learned. I'm applying all these things that I learned on my recordings, on my production, on my shows, on my sessions. So, yeah. So whatever you learn, do not be afraid of. I know it's a hard dilemma because sometimes what you learn might not be applicable to what you're doing, right? But if you're playing like stuff like home, yeah, probably not much of an arena to do it. But if you have a gig or have a church service, and if the worship leader decides, hey, dude, you can go wild for the Lord for a couple of bars here and do some solo, yeah, then you can have a chance to kind of apply that in church too if you're serving in church. But if not, then maybe in your weekly jam with your band, you can start exploring stuff that you have learned at home. I hope that helps. That's just very important. I hope that answered your question, Phil. Scooter, guitar has been around for centuries, not going anywhere. Agree. Copying made a nice little rock solo using Carol of the Bells. Just play it in reverse. John asked a lot of questions. Sorry, but do you play 12-string guitars? Yes, I do. I have a 12-string right here. It's a Washburn. And I love 12-string guitars, So I like to layer it in the background so that it creates a texture. I just uploaded or recently uploaded a song called All Who Are Thirsty, a Christian song. So there's a whole lot of guitar parts in there. In fact, there are like about three guitar parts, acoustic guitar parts in there. And if you listen closely, you can hear the 12-string in there somewhere. And it's nice. It's just I'm playing real sparse. I'm playing like things that little parts, little like not a full chord thing, just selected few notes, and it just gives you that lovely timbre. Yeah. Esther, John, are there any instruments that you still want to learn from scratch? Yes, pedal steel guitar. It's one instrument that I need to learn from scratch, and it's not going to be easy. So I'm saving up. I'm saving up to get a pedal steel guitar because it's kind of big, and I don't have the space for it. I guess I put it at the back, but I had to clear a lot of stuff. I probably can clear this whole cupboard and put a pedal steel here if I really want to, but it will take time. Sure, Felix. Aaron P, sleep time. All right. Good night, Aaron. Bear, everyone listen to a guitarist Sanjo Hayek. He plays guitar, bass, drum, keys, and master level is from Brazil. All right. It's oh my. Hey, Bear, it's like 10:40 a.m. in Tucson, Arizona. Wow. I love the Tucson morning. When I was in Tucson, I stayed almost a month there, and I will wake up really early in the morning, like 7:30. That's not really early, but it's early for me. And I would have gone to Target the night before and bought a couple of cornbread, right? And I'll make myself a cup of coffee, and I'll put in the cornbread in the microwave oven and have my breakfast and looking out at the light, and then lovely light in the morning in Tucson. And this was like just before Thanksgiving, so the weather is kind of chilly. It's not really hot, it's not really cold, just perfect. And I will hang around in the garden because I was staying in my house with my host, and they're away for work, so I'm left to my own devices in their wonderful home. So I'll water the plants in the garden, and nice way to spend the day. Yeah, and I will while away my time like that until lunch. Then I have my lunch, or they'll take me out for lunch. Yeah, good memories. All right, Phil. No worries. Scooter, yes, I do. I do play alternate tunings. Yeah, every now and then. Yeah. Hey, David, how are you? In Apache Junction. Wow. You still get a lot of cyclists over there, Scooter. In Phoenix, right? You're from Phoenix. And Bear, do you still see a lot of cyclists in Tucson? When I was there was a whole lot of cyclists, but I wasn't into cycling back then, so I wish I were. I would join them. Bruce, I played pedal steel 7 years ago. I had a stroke and lost a lot of use on my left leg, so now I play a lap steel. Not quite the same, but still a lot of fun. All right, Bruce. Cool. Cool. Well, I'm sad to hear about your stroke. I hope you're recovered now, Bruce. Yeah, I figure. Yeah, Bear and Scooter, I figure. Yeah, the whole lot of cyclists there because they have a really healthy cycling community there. You know, and it's great. Like in Tucson, you if you go up that hill, what's that hill called? I forgot the hill. Well, that's an effort. That would take a whole lot of effort. What's that hill called? Let me check. I went up there for lunch. Just give me a second. What's that hill called? Dude. Alright. I was at Phoenix only briefly. You know, I was there for a church event, and then we got back to Tucson. A mountain? Yeah, it's a mountain. It's not a hill. But it was fun. Driving up there is like, you know, it took me a while. It took us a while. But I've seen cyclists like, you know, cycling up there, and it's crazy. I wonder where I still have pictures of that place there. It's a lovely place. Two 2012. Is this one? Nope, not this. I miss traveling. You know, when I was traveling a whole lot, I didn't want to travel because it's such a chore, especially on the transit. But now I miss traveling. I just can't wait to travel again. Talk about pickups. You got any more questions? We heard this place called Summer Haven. What mountain is this? This is Santa Catalina. Santa Catalina County or Santa Catalina Mountain, right? going to show you a picture. Where is this? Display capture. Is this what you call display capture? Window capture. Window capture. Okay. Let me see now. The desktop picture from Facebook. All right. This one. Yeah, done. Okay. So, can you see this? No, that's me and the Catalina. Yo, what happened? That was my lunch. Then, yeah, so this is Summer Haven. Pretty nice place. That's my host. I love this. You only can have a house built right out there. Look at the light, you know. The light is perfect for photography in Tucson. Check that out. Right, this is a modern road. You can see a cyclist there actually. Yeah, I miss that place. I miss Tucson, basically. I miss the friends that I have there. Wow, look at that. So anyway, oh yeah, nice and sunny all the time. Ah, that's right. That's Mount Lemmon. Yeah, I can see over 100 miles. Yeah, right. Yes, it's beautiful. I love that place. You have snowbirds that travel thousands of miles yearly just for the sun. Oh, go figure. we have a lot of we also have a lot of Britons who travel hundreds of miles to get away from the sun. We got Ted Cruz who travel a whole lot longer than that to go to Cancun for the sun. All right, do you ever do Revelation song in church? That fun one, easy to learn. How does it go, Revelation song? You know, I can't keep track of all these songs that we're doing in church because after a while they kind of like sound all about similar, not the same, but similar. Oh no, I'm not supposed to play this, so I'll get a copyright strike. I probably did play this before, yeah. Yes, Scooter, time for burrito. Orion, just carrying all the gear. Oh, thank you, Orion. You're such a darling because I was about to talk about this. I don't know whether you guys seen the post that I did on the community page where I posted this guitar bag and the Enya guitar case because I was going for this church event and all I need to do was to carry these two guitars and I didn't carry my carrying case for the Helix because I was using the was using the NUX MG30. Two very compact packages for me to carry, but they weigh almost 20 kg. Okay, Google, how much is 20 kg in pounds?
20 kilograms is equal to 44.092 pounds.
Okay, so about 44 pounds. and it was stressful for my shoulders and my back. So the first night after I went for the rehearsal, when I got back, I got a slight ache on my lower back. So that's probably because of the amount of weight I'm carrying. But it was okay. It was manageable. So yesterday it wasn't that bad. Yesterday I just had to carry this electric guitar with the MG. So that would weigh somewhere in the region of 12 kg, 13 kg. Yeah. So it's okay. It's okay. But your question is not about that. Your question is about how will it strain my hands and fingers? It does put a strain on my hand and fingers, especially if you're carrying like hard cases. I think I've done this before. I've gone through with you guys before. What's the midnight? Todd. Okay, so having hard cases is really dangerous for your hands, especially your wrist, because you won't know when you hit something, or when, especially on the carousel in the airport. Yeah, sometimes the guitar case might get caught up in other luggages or other stuff, and it's a bit dangerous. So I chose to travel with the SKB semi-hard case, with the foam case, which I find is really good. So I travel with that these days because it's easier on the hands, and then I can always strap it on my shoulders if I need to. With a hard case, you can't strap anything on the shoulders except for the any hard case. Yeah, you can actually do that, but you have to keep your straps somewhere. You don't want it hanging and snagging onto other stuff. And as far as fingers are concerned, yes, this is where you run into danger of getting things snagged up and might twist or hurt your fingers. Yeah. Bruce, which Langley M is behind you? What do you think of them? I love Langley M's, especially tube ones, especially the ones that are made in UK. This is a VC15, the small brother of the VC30, which is a really good tube amp. This is an amp that I could use for my gig if I need to. It has an overdrive section in there, or rather, a dirty section in there, as well as a clean. And coming from a small little size like this, sounds pretty good, I have a PV class 20 mH, great practice in small gig amp, 2 power tubes, 3 preamp tubes. Yeah. Okay, cool. What's the midnight snack tonight, John? I have chicken, we can call them nuggets, and cauliflower and broccoli. Well, my wife cooked today, so I have that. So I'm gonna eat that right after this stream. Oh, you have an orange amp? Cool. I always want to try an orange amp, but I don't have the opportunity to try that. So stop whining. I also used to play keyboards and carry around a Hammond B3 and Destiny in the late 70s. And dude, I'm not whining. I've been there, done that. I helped my keyboard player carry a Rhodes up to the top floor of the hotel that we were playing the gig. I nearly died because that road weighed a ton. And I've been around, I've carried instruments and reinforcement speakers when I was on tour with a ministry trip, in Taiwan. And we will play and we will lug everything, including the sound system, onto our bus, and then we will break them out, fixed up, everything. And we did the same thing when we did a North American tour, a ministry tour in Canada and in certain parts of North America. We were doing that. And it was bad. It's not good for the hands. Scooter, do I cook? Yes, I do. Not really well, but I cook for myself. I guess it's eatable. I do simple stuff, not really cook. I could get by with a decent meal if I need to. But it's most of the time it's all processed food. I can't cook like my wife, fresh ingredients from the market. I can't do that. Yeah. I have to learn though. Yeah, I have to start learning. Singapore, you don't really have to cook because there's food available 24 hours a day if you need to. I have a Indian store right down the corner, about 500 meters from my place, and I could get really nice Indian food if I need to, 24 hours a day. Yeah, so I will never go hungry if I'm ever hungry, if I don't feel like cooking. I just walk down, and get some nice prata with curry and and those mee goreng. In case you do not understand what is mee goreng, means fried meat, fried noodles, right? So really spicy, really hot with potatoes, stuff. There you go. You had roadies. We didn't have roadies. So we had to learn everything ourselves. Oh, cool. Pork rinds. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, man. Much appreciated. Yeah, which reminds me, I need to get some pork rinds myself. So I need to order them from this store somewhere. You have a hard time with curry. Why? Curry is good. Curry is filled with many wonderful things like turmeric. Turmeric is good for your joints. So in case you guys are praying people, you might want to pray for me. I developed some sort of a lump right at this joint here. It's not. I don't think it's any tumor or anything like that. Nothing serious. I read about it. It's like a some of the veins and stuff. It's probably due because of certain deposit that's centered around the joints as you grow old. And it was a bit disconcerting to me, a bit discomfort. It brings a bit of discomfort to me in the get-go. That was like about a month and a half ago, or maybe 2 months ago, and I felt it. And there was this lump here, and it's probably because of the way I play, and it started getting really bothersome a week or so ago, and it kind of affected my playing. So I had to kind of like reposition my hand. So now I'm having an ache here. I'm having some ache, but this will go away, I know, because I haven't utilized this muscle for the longest time when I'm playing. So when I'm holding a guitar, I would kind of like play in such a way where I'm comfortable with doing chords, with the 11 chords and stuff like that, with the utilization of the thumb. So that's where I think a lot of places get hit. And like I said, I've been playing almost every day, constantly. So you suffer the consequences. So there's a little lump here. It just got bothersome about 1.5 weeks ago. But the funny thing is that I was in rehearsal yesterday night in church, and the pain disappeared. So I want to thank God for that. Yeah, so cool. So in case you are praying folks, you might just want to say a little bit of prayer and keep me in prayer. Speaking of which, y'all have anything that I can pray for y'all? Anything that you want me to pray for? Orient Quest, I have a small bump in the middle of my right palm, and it pulses. Wow, it pulses. Oh, but it could be. I don't know. I have a bump here. Can you see that? I have a bump here, and this has been here for a long time. This has been here since I was like age 9, maybe younger than that, 8, 9. Yeah, I remember because I fell. I was building this fort, fort, F-O-R-T, with the tower and everything, and this tower has this pointed thing. And somehow along the way I was running or something, and then I fell on top of it, so it went right in. And after that I discovered there's this lump there. And it never really bothered me, so I don't know, maybe the lump hindered the use of my little pinky. But in any case, it didn't do me any trouble, so. You're back? Oh, thank you, Scooter. You're darling. Your bump is near an artery? Yeah, that's why it pulses. That's right. Mine doesn't. Yeah. Anyway, as you grow old, you get stuff like that, and I'm always very apprehensive about arthritis. So I always pray and say, Lord, keep my hands away from arthritis. And I felt the onset of arthritis, or rather pain in the joints, a couple of years ago, and I started taking fish oil, right, the omega-3 fish oil with the high dosage. So I just have to take 1 pill a day, and then I shifted from that to curcumin, which really helped a lot. So I'm still taking curcumin every day, and vitamin D, because I don't see much sunshine these days. So vitamin D, and then what do I have? Other than that, yeah, that's about. And I'm still having like supplement myself with fish oil every now and then. I even bought cod livers oil. I haven't opened up yet, so that is just in case my fish oils just kind of like run out of stock. I'll pray for your back, Scooter. Anyone else? How are you guys coping with the situation? Are you guys okay? You know. Oh, you got your shots. Cool. The first one or the second one? Oh, yeah, both. Oh, sorry to hear that, Bear. How old was she? How old was she, Bear? Both shots. Any side effects? Oh, 68. All right. Sorry for your loss, Bear. Are you okay? How are you doing? Bruce, is there a way to do a super chat with PayPal? I just tried and it seems to only take credit cards. I don't think so, Bruce. But thank you for the thought. Orion, when recording guitar parts, does the producer in you tweak the tuning when there is a key change? No, I try not to do that when I'm recording it, because yeah, sometimes there are certain things that you do in the take that you cannot replicate. I've recorded so many songs before, and there are parts where I regretted redoing, because the first take is always the best, even though the tuning is a little bit wonky. It doesn't matter, because that feel was the one that really captured the whole essence of the solo. And I think Steve Lukather also talked about this, where the emphasis on auto-tune and stuff like that is way too apparent, and sometimes it's best to have it natural. But the expectation of music listening these days has come to this point where everybody expects to hear a tune perfect pitch, tune perfect song, which never did happen back then, but they were great songs. Only fatigue, and after the second shot, some light confusion too. Wow. That's some heavy shit. Light confusion. And on a normal day, I'm likely confused as it is. Wow. John, I also got both shots and only had sore arms. Well, good for you. Bear, Maria, my sister, was an electrical engineer in Texas Instruments. She worked at Burn Brown, where they developed the chip that went into Ibanez screen overdrive backing. Wow, interesting. Cool. Hey, Todd, thanks. Scooby Snacks. Right, so this is so cool, right? I mean, you guys saw the pedal, so yeah. Anyway, I spoke about this earlier on, you know. Oh, thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave. Amen. Thank you. Sore arms. Yeah, I'm gonna get my shot soon. I think by the end of March, if I'm mistaken, because they are rolling out, with different age groups. So the 60s, those who are in the 60s, so 60 to 67, we will get our shots in March. Yeah, and I was serving last night with my church worship team, and one I happened to be a doctor. So I did ask her. I mean, we have 3 choices to choose from. Well, not we have no choice. Okay, we have no choice. But we have 3 vaccines available in Singapore: the Pfizer's and Moderna, and there's another one called Sinovac, which is developed in China. Yeah. Anyway, the Sinovac vaccines are in stock in Singapore, but it's not approved by the Singapore government yet, the health board. So we only had to deal with the Moderna or the Pfizer. So yeah, I just want to get it over done with. All right, so I'm gonna call it a night. I just pray that you guys stay safe. So let's pray. Y'all got anything? I'm not gonna give you a couple of minutes. If anything you want me or want us to pray together, just type it down here. So I have Scooter with his sore back, right? And I have Bear with his grief, struggling. I mean, I hope you're not struggling with that grief, because I don't think your sis wants you to do that. So I hope you're doing fine. But I will ask God to heal your heart. Anyone else? I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. No? Night, Scooter. You are? Okay. Cool, Dave. Oh, man. There's a barber's Bear. Alright, let's just pray for a while, okay? Just pray for a while and just commit this couple of minutes together. Don't leave first, Scooters. Hang around. Thank you, Jesus, for this gathering of brothers and sisters. Lord, you have watched our conversation. You have known each of us by name. I hear you, Orin. I see you. Alright, and I just pray the Lord that whatever stuff that we are struggling with, Lord, that you will come and take control. We all struggle with many aspects of life, Lord. Depression, fear, worry, anger. Lord, I just pray that as we gather before you, that Lord, that you will let us find a way out with your help, Lord. We cannot do anything, Lord. We cannot do anything without you, Lord. So, Lord, we desperately need your help. I pray for Scooter, that Lord, that you will heal his lower back. The Lord, that you will elevate the pain from him, to be able to function properly each day, Lord, in his work. I pray for Bear, who is struggling with grief. The Lord, that you would just comfort his heart. Lord, let him, or remind him, he had a great sister, great mom, for many, many years. Lord, we are all on loan to each one, Lord. My kids are on loan to me. I knew that on the get-go. And that, Lord, I will not have them forever. And my dad and my mom was on loan. And I now know that I cannot have them forever, even though that was our deepest desire. So, Lord, we struggle with memories of lost loved ones, but we know they are on loan because they were meant as a blessing to our lives from you, Lord. And what great blessings they are, because they bring so much to our lives, to enrich our lives through knowledge, through love above all, through the smile, the words of kindness, and the word of love. That, Lord, they have blessed us tremendously. And we thank you for that. For that, Lord. We thank you for that. But, Lord, at the same time, help us to get over this grief, this period of grief, Lord, when we lose them. And we only pray that, Lord, that we'll meet them again in heaven. There will be such a great reunion, Lord. I pray for that day to come. So I pray for Bear, that, Lord, that you find a way for him to comfort himself in his heart and in his memory of his mom and his sister. That, Lord, that you just be there and hug him, Lord. You hug him, Lord. Hug him tight, Lord. And also pray for Orion, that, Lord, that even as he struggles with anxiety, that, Lord, you take away the anxiety in the name of Jesus. The Lord, anxiety has no place in his heart, because anxiety is born out of fear. And if we trust in you and we believe in you, there's no fear, Lord. There's no fear. There's only you. It's only you, Lord. I just pray for Orion, that, Lord, that you will watch over him. Watch over him every step of the way. Whisper into his ears to just tell him that you are there with him, Lord, that he's nothing to fear. I thank you, Jesus, for this brother, and I pray that, Lord, that you will watch and cover him with your blood, Lord. I also pray for the rest of my brothers and sisters who are here right now. I have 16 of them. That, Lord, that you will watch over them too, in their going in and their coming out. That, Lord, that you will bless their families. They will bless their career, so that, Lord, that whatever career they're still holding on to, that, Lord, that it will not be in jeopardy. That even in this pandemic, Lord, that you will watch over them safe, in their safety, Lord. That you will let them be safe. I thank you, Jesus. I thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus, for this time. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right. Now, I thank Jesus for you guys. And I never expected that I would have fellow brothers and sisters in the YouTube live stream. I never did expect this, never in my wildest dream. And it was such a blessing to have you guys along every week. It's just like a little mini kind of like a online cell group, like online group meeting. It's pretty cool. Thank you, Scooter. Didn't meant it to be, but that was what Jesus asked me to do. So yeah. Well, one of the reasons why I created this YouTube channel was to talk about him, to boast about him, to tell people about him. But then, sadly, a lot of people are not willing to listen about him, or listen to him, or listen to anything about what I say about him. So I don't really care. I don't really care. So I will go on proclaiming Jesus as the only way to salvation, as the only way to peace, and the only way to joy for everyone. Yeah, I will just keep on doing that. So you guys take care, right? I'll see you soon. I don't know. I'm not sure whether I have live stream next week because I'll be pretty tied up in certain things, and next week will be a bit busy for me because Monday I have rehearsals and the rest of the days will be, yes, Jesus is Lord, is Lord, amen to that. Yeah, so we'll see. So you guys please take care of yourselves, stay safe, and for those of you guys who are being vaccinated, cool, you guys are there. Yeah, and hope that this thing will just pass over, right? This pandemic will pass over by the grace of God, and hopefully I can travel again, and you guys can travel again. And if you want to come down to Singapore and pay me a visit, come on down, right? Yeah, I hope I can travel out to the States again. So maybe it'd be great to meet up with you guys in person. That would be such a blast. So bye, ciao, take care, God bless. Good night, Orion. Bye, Todd. Yes, Bear, come on over. Night. Take care.